Spencer, firstly, thank you very much for inviting us down to your offices here today and taking time out of your busy schedule to share your experience with our viewers.
Oh, you're welcome. Glad to have you.
Thank you very much. To begin with, could you please tell us a little bit about yourself and your company?
Okay, so I'm Spencer Freeman with Freeman & Son Fire Restoration. We're a Southern California-based fire damage restoration contractor here in Southern California.
Okay.
So Spencer, in total, how many staff you employ and how do they work for you?
So we have 18 people total in the company, and many of us are out in the field all day. We're a construction company, so we have to be on site. So we're in satellite offices out of our homes when we are communicating on admin stuff.
And what services have you taken from virtual employee and for how long?
So we've got two staff with virtual employee. One is Gunit, and we've worked with Gunit for 5 years. So Gunit, who's been with us the longest, we hired him originally for IT, and he started off in IT, and what that means for us is, you know, we've got everybody's out in the field and working from home, so we don't have anybody that's actually in an office. So we've got a lot of laptops, we have a lot of iPads, and you know, our people are field people, they're not computer people. So the idea was to have him keep us up and running, because the last thing I want to hear is, oh, my iPad's not working, oh, my computer's not working. And before him, that's what I heard. And either I or one of my senior staff would have to interact with the people to take care of it. Gunit's got other responsibilities that we've expanded him into inside of the company as well, where, you know, now he's calling vendors. In our production department, he's actually coming up with specifications for vendors, sending them out to them. He's supporting production of our construction and in a lot of the administrative things that can happen. So he's been quite a help in many areas of the company, not just in IT. A big key with the IT is he's able to get right to an employee and get him back up and running versus, you know, having to wait, you know, hours or days for one of us to deal with it. So that's been a big help for us there. And then with Raj, he's in the estimating department, and he's taking information from the field that we send him and producing the estimate in our software. We trade it back and forth and you know, come up with the estimate the way it needs to be. And what's been kind of a great side benefit for us is because of the time difference between the States and India, we can send information to him at 5 in the afternoon, and when we come back to work the next morning, you know, the estimate's done. Versus if we gave it to another employee locally, we'd have to wait a day to get that. So it puts us ahead of the curve by at least 24 hours.
So how are the results working with your virtual employees?
Well, you know, they're great. I mean, it's when I look at working with virtual employee, there's not a big difference between the people that we're working with here in the States, because for us, we're cloud-based, and you know, whether somebody's in the next room or they're 20 miles away or they're in India, it's pretty seamless for us. I mean, what virtual employee does is, you know, support their staff or the people that we use, so you know, there's no glitches, and we get the same, you know, access to them as we do people here in the States.
So Spencer, why did you look to offshore in the first place?
Well, two reasons. One was cost. I figured, you know, if the big corporations can do it, why can't we do it? And that certainly holds true. And the other was there's just so much regulation in the States when we hire somebody. I mean, there's unemployment, there's disability, there's just so much regulation that we have to deal with as employers, that it was attractive to me to work with a service like virtual employee where I didn't have to worry about it. That's an attractive feature for me, to have one less person to worry about the government burden, you know, to deal with. With a service, I don't have those issues. It's a lot of peace of mind for me.
Okay, and so have those actually now materialized and been the advantages of using our service?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, that's the thing that drives me to think when I'm going to hire other administrative staff, you know, it makes virtual employee more attractive to me than, you know, than hiring locally. You know, I mean, I had a bad experience with an employee about 9 months ago where, you know, I wound up in an administrative situation where I had to hire an attorney to defend myself with these allegations. It cost us about $12,000 over something that was just so simple in my mind. So with virtual employee, I don't have to even think about that. So Sean, here's an example of what I'm saying when it comes to the regulation. I mean, I've got these posters that I've got to put in the workplace accessible to the employees so that they can read about all their rights and what they can do. And you know, I'm not trying to do anything illegal or bad with my employees. It's just the difference between virtual employee and my employees is that I don't have to worry about any of this with virtual employee. So it's a peace of mind for me. I don't have to worry about somebody, especially in California, we're a litigious society here, and I don't have to worry about being sued by my employees. If they're virtual employees, I don't have to worry about it. You know, not only do we have all these regulations, I mean, here's an idea of what we have for our safety manual, and you know, we've got to be sure that we're up to date on all of this stuff and we're following all of these rules and guidelines. And again, I don't want to hurt my employees, but it's sure nice to not have to worry about it.
So with virtual employee, you just have a little bit less stress, I guess, when it comes to...
Absolutely. It's not only stress, it's liability too, because the more people I have in that, in virtual employee, the fewer I have that can actually have the opportunity to go, you know, sue me if they wanted to.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in that respect, would you agree that hiring a virtual employee is a little bit like hiring, or is like hiring a cloud employee or running a cloud company, because you get to focus on the bigger picture, which is your work, rather than HR or labor laws or health insurance and red tape like that?
No, absolutely. I mean, I didn't get into business to do red tape and answer questions about healthcare and, you know, pay unemployment and workers' comp. Not my favorite stuff to do. I didn't get into business to work for the government.
In the past, Spencer, you've also outsourced to the Philippines. How would you compare India as an outsourcing destination and the Philippines in your personal experience?
Well, in my personal experience, I tried to outsource to the Philippines.
Okay.
I never actually made it. There was a real disconnect for me with the 2 or 3 companies that I spoke with. They didn't really have any follow-up or follow-through, and it was different in that, you know, they wanted to find a person for me, but this person wasn't at place of business. They were just working out of their home, so they didn't have any support. I mean, we did actually hire one. They had spotty internet. There was nobody that they were accountable to, so, you know, the hours were inconsistent. It wasn't a good experience for us. Versus, you know, virtual employee, where it's so nice for me to not have to worry about do they have internet, do they have computers, because you guys support all of that, and I don't have to worry about any of that. It's just turnkey. I have an employee. He's got everything he needs. He's got people there to support him, and you know, that didn't happen with the Philippines, and it broke down real quickly. I mean, it was a waste of money for us to attempt.
And also, I believe you've also worked with some other companies in India as well. How has your experience of working with them compared to working with virtual employee?
With the other company that we offshored with for a short time, it was a different experience because they gave us a very inexperienced person, and we could tell in working with them that this person was being shadowed by somebody else on their side, and it was I don't know, it just we didn't get the satisfaction there. There was a communication gap, and I think a skill level gap there that they were trying to fill with a shadow individual that we weren't really talking to, was trying to coach them on how to do what we were asking them to do. So it was clumsy and cumbersome to get work done.
Okay.
And Spencer, you've hired freelancers, work with them as well. So how would you compare hiring a freelancer to a virtual employee?
Well, freelancers, when I hire them, it's usually for a short-term project, and it's a very specific task, like they're going to do graphic design, or they're going to compose a sales letter, and that's the end of it. They're just doing this one task. With my experience with virtual employee is that, those people are true employees, and we can expand into other areas where they might have an interest or where they have a skill, and it blossoms into much more than just a very, finite task that they're going to do for us.
Okay. And why did you decide to partner with virtual employee?
Well, what worked well for us with virtual employee was that, when we contacted you guys, it was a situation where we got good follow-up and follow-through. There wasn't an issue of, I never felt like I was chasing, anybody at virtual employee to help me get what I needed. So it was a professional experience, and it led to us, working together. And what was nice about virtual employee was that, in the States, we're used to interviewing people, and we've got, 2 or 3 people that we'll whittle it down to for a face-to-face interview. And we were able to do that with virtual employee as well. We'd have a phone interview, and of course you got the video available as well. So, that makes it a lot easier for us to get in our comfort zone with a person that we're going to hire. It's a little more like what we're used to doing when we hire people.
Okay.
So, Spencer, prior to actually working with Guneet and hiring your virtual employees, how were you getting the work done that they now do?
Well, IT was especially challenging because, there was a couple of options that we had. One was we would call our IT vendor, which was, $95 an hour, which, Guneet is substantially less than that. The other is that myself or another manager would have to take time out of our busy day to assist somebody else in the company so we could get them back up and running. So there was always a delay from the time that the person had the problem till we could solve it. And so they lost work time, and then either I or my other manager lost work time because they had to address the IT issues. So it's really solved issues for us where we're taking productive time away to solve those IT problems. The downside with all 3 of those alternatives was that nobody ever got anything corrected right away. It would have been hours or the next day or maybe days before they could get back to full capacity.
Okay, so how would you summarize the impact of hiring your virtual employees on your company?
Well, they've made a big difference in that we've got staff that cost us less money. We've got staff that doesn't have the risk as far as all the government regulations. And, it's been great for us because it's just another employee. It's not, I don't look at it now that I've been doing this for so many years. It doesn't feel like I'm outsourcing anymore. I've just got another employee. I couldn't hire somebody full-time in the States to do IT for our company. It's just not feasible. And when I'm working with even other people like Raj in estimating, the amount that the expense that I am incurring for Raj versus what I have to expend for somebody else is pretty substantial. So it's a big savings.
Well, Spencer, I'm very happy to know that your experience with us has been a good one. And I would just like to say thank you once again for taking time out and sharing your experience with us.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It was a pleasure.